Started in a seated position. You can sit cross-legged if that works for you, or you can sit on your heels if that's better. From there, if you want to close the eyes, you can close the eyes. If you'd rather have them open, have them open. Hands could be on the lap, or they could be at your heart. Today we're going to focus on moving without thought. And we'll start that by noticing our breathing. You can sit there in this quiet way and notice your breath. And from here is where we start our practice. So we can notice our breath. The breath can be something you even choose to do. It can be an activity. And we'll start with choosing breath. So quietly to yourself, breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. And breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. And breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. And breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. Continue this to yourself. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. And breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. And as you have this going for you, this activity of breathing, we get to really let our awareness open up. We get to be aware of where the breath fills up. We're also aware of where the breath gets a little shy or kind of reaches its mark and regresses. We're aware of our breath in a wide way. We're aware of our breath in a tall way. We're aware of the texture of our breath. This awareness we want to keep throughout class. Thinking about the breath would have us making analysis or making judgment calls. My breath is fast or my breath is short. My breath is smooth or my breath is choppy. If you ever find yourself for today's class getting in this way of thinking or analyzing, today you can allow it to dissolve. Today the practice can be moving without having to think of it or using thought as it refers to our intellect or our ego. Today, trust that the way the body is moving in this intuitive way. It's moving with an intelligence that is outside of the thinking mind. You can allow yourself at points to use dialogue cues to help you get back to a place of easiness. The work itself may have different levels of heat, challenge, difficulty, and you can acknowledge it, be an awareness that the body is involved, and still do so without thinking about how long or how short or how good or bad your work is. Today, your work simply is, period. And a mantra that we can focus on mentally, I am. Inhale, I. Exhale, am. And there's just so much space in that statement, this dynamic way that you are, to simply show up and be. Finally, if there's a person, a place, if there's something in your life that really brings you some joy, that really speaks to you, they might also come up. You can even in this moment dedicate some of your practice to those people, places, and things. One of our last few of the time here, give yourself a full, big breath in. And give yourself an exhale to let that go. Okay? You can open the eyes. You can come into a tabletop position. Like I said, we got a new setup, so if there's ever any technical issues, just put it in the chat for me so I can know. Otherwise, we'll just move forward with it. Spread the fingers really wide, slap the top of the feet firm into the floor, and look up towards the ceiling for cow pose. Chin up towards the sky, rounded into cat pose. This is the basic movement of it. But again, moving, there's a little bit of intuition now. You can take it side to side. If you find that there's something in the body that's saying go here or go there, then trust it. Trust it to do what it needs to do. So much is happening within the body. We can find a little bit of rest for all the things that go on in the mind. There's room to go left and right, up and down with your movement. There's room to even have sound. If it ever comes to anything, if you're ever wondering, what am I doing today? It's breathing. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. And breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. Okay? Let's turn the fingertips the opposite direction as well, so you can open the fronts of the wrist. Shift your weight a little front and back that way. The next time you find your fingertips coming back forward, just make sure that the front of the mat. Fingertips towards the front of the mat. Knees can walk back a few inches from that. Drop your hips into a child's pose. Stretch your hips away from your fingers. And then bring yourself forward, hips towards your wrist. Sink your hips. You can even look up towards the sky. A couple more times. Hips back towards your heels. Stretching through your fingers. And then hips forward. Letting the head drop back. Last time with breath cues. Inhale. And then exhale. Let's come back into a neutral tabletop position. Extend the legs back into plank. Arms really working here. Firm up through your biceps. Push your hands deep into the floor, but then firm up through your biceps to lift out of your wrist. One more big breath in here. And on the exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. There might be movement, but there also might just be stillness. Maybe the movement is so subtle, it's just in how the breath is moving. Aware that the breath is moving, so the body is also moving. Little to perform here. So much of life, for better or worse, is performative. In this moment, there's no performance. And then there's a little play though. Bend your right knee and just see what this does for your hips. See if you can tip the right hip up and keep the hips square. Remember to keep the head relaxed. Let's stay just like this for one more inhale. As you exhale, just straighten the right leg to the best of your ability without straining. Bend just your left knee. Let the left hip tip up to square the hips. Keep the head relaxed. Big breath in. On the exhale, let the legs straighten. Bend both knees. Look forward. Walk to the front of your mat, forward fold. Let your neck drop. Arms can sway. There can be a little dangle. It might even be a little Friday dance if you're happy it's Friday. If you're happy that you're in this present space. Let's take an inhale for a half lift. Long spine. And then release down, forward fold, let it go. One more time, inhale to your capacity. Let's hold it. Shift some weights forward towards your toes. And then release your head again, forward fold. Good. From here, inhale, arms up to the sky, reach high. And then bring the hands down to the center of your heart. And then the hands by the sides. There's an awareness that we are one long line of energy. The breath can go up and down from the heels to the head. Let's stay here for a couple breaths. Inhale through the nose. Let it go up your skull. Let it travel down your spine. Exhale through the nose. Let it travel up your back through the crown of your head. Inhale, bring the arms up to the sky. Let there be a little lift. The breath still traveling down your back. And on the exhale, release down, forward fold. Breath leaving through the crown of the head, following the floor. Inhale, half lift. Roll the shoulders back like you're opening through the chest. And then release down, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, half lift. Let's hold it here. Rock some weight back into your heels. And then release down, forward fold. Let's take a whole back bend. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Breath moving in as you go up. If it feels good to side out as you release down and forward, let it go. Some people might let the arms just dangle. Maybe there's one more moment needed to let that last latch drop. Inhale, half lift. Push your feet into the floor as you lengthen. Exhale, release, down, fold. Step your feet back, upper push-up plank. And we'll just get really nice in this plank for a moment. Let's just really look at it. Look at the right hand. Look at the left hand. Look at the right side of the wall. Look at the left side of the wall. Look forward to the wall in front of you. Let's stay here. Take an inhale, keep your belly drawn in. On your exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Relax your head in that down dog. Pedal out your feet freely. Right foot, left foot, just walking in place, walking your dog. Hands super supportive here. They're like two pillars. Let's take an inhale. Lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your knee, open through your hip. Today, if you want to shake it out like it owed you, you can shake it out like it owed you. If you want to roll it around like you're whipping a steering wheel, you can swirl it around. If you want to give a few hops, if you're floating into a handstand, you can float. Right, flipping the dog, if you want to flip it. All types of stuff. Nice, Lou. Take an inhale, extend the right leg straight to the sky. Step it through between your hands. If you got to wiggle it forward, get the right foot through. Look forward in front of you, feel for your breath. And then just float your left foot forward to the front of your mat. Forward fold there. Nice. Shake out the head. No, no, no. No more tension, no more strain. And then nod the head up and down. Yes, yes, yes. More being present. More being here. And then take an inhale. Ripple up, half lift. And on the exhale, release, fold forward. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Let your palms press. And then hands to heart center. Hands by the side. Let the palms face forward. Give yourself some open body language. I am. Breathing in. Breathing out. I am supposed to be here. Exactly where I am needed to be. I am this and that. Like you could pick up all these things, take an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And on your exhale, release down into a forward fold, let it go. Let all those I ams go. From here, you can interlace your fingers behind your spine, straight into the elbows. And any limiting beliefs, if you could just shake them off your head, you can shake them out the body. Maybe bounce the hips a few times, like you're shaking them out for loose change. Get all those extra things no longer needed out. What are they even doing there anyway? Give it one more big breath in. And on the exhale, release the hands down to the floor. step back into plank once again and just getting real comfortable with our plank. We'll keep the core active. It'll be the forearms that change. Come into forearm plank, right forearm down, left forearm down. For a lot of people, consciousness comes through stillness. Even if the only thing you were noticing was that you were holding on, at least that's noticing. At least there's awareness in that. See if you can incorporate a breath to support it, to support what's holding on, so that it's compensated. It's compensated with breath, attention, and focus. Let's give it 10, a quantifiable amount for 8, knowing you've held it at least for 6, knowing you've got it for 4, 3, 2, 1, right hand down, left hand down, back into plank. Ooh, nice everyone. Nice on T. Drop the knees to the floor and lower your whole body to the mat for cobra. Pelvis to the mat, untuck your toes, lift your chest up, cobra pose. Nice, y'all. Drop the hips into child's pose, forehead to the mat. Being in this pose without thinking. We know the breath is moving. We're aware of it. Nothing much more to do with it. Look forward, tabletop position, shoulders on top of wrists. You can take your right leg and just start to roll it out. Extend it, circle it out a little bit. Nice, strong moment. We're going to keep the right leg in the air. Just tuck your left toes and push yourself up into a down dog split. Hips high, right leg in the air. Yeah, take one more inhale. We'll stay right here. On the exhale, just lower your right foot back down to the floor. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip, circle it out, roll it around. You can again jiggle it out, shaking it out. If you want to flip it over, you can flip it over. If you're taking a few hops, you want to invert, you can take a few hops. Almost like you're on a playground. Only the playground is the whole body. Exploring the arms, the legs, the chest, the breath, the space in between it all. Take an inhale, straighten the left leg, let it lift. Step your left foot through between your hands. And then just let it fit. Wiggling the toes forward, just getting into your space. Looking forward, allowing the breath to pass. Step your right foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, big breath in. And on the exhale, fold forward. Go right into your back bend. You can go all the way up. You can go all the way back. And you can travel it all the way down into your forward fold. Seriously, really solid. Take a moment just to walk your hands over to your right. A little twist on the right side. Then walk them to the left. A little twist for the left side. Walk them to the right one more time, and this time we'll hold for an extra breath. And walk them even further to the left, crawling the fingertips over to the left far. Come back to center. Half lift, big breath in. And on the exhale, release, fold. Plank pose, once again, legs back. Shoulders on top of wrist. Pushing through your knuckles. Good, lower down halfway, elbows stay in. Look forward, untuck your toes, lift your chest up, upward facing dog. Hips high from there, downward facing dog. Pelling out the feet, giving it some space. Lift your heels up really high, big breath in. Just like windshield wipers. Drop your heels to the right, just sliding the hips to the right. And then heels back to center, heels high. Drop them over to the left. And then back to center, heels high. Just drop the heels back. Bring your knees to the mat. Untuck your toes. Lift your left leg up. Move your left leg freely. Some of the things that we need to work out mentally find their way out of the body when we move physically, when we reconnect with this earth source. Left leg stays lifted. Tuck the right toes. Push the hips up. Down dog split. Left leg high. Slowly release left foot down to the floor. And then inhale right leg high. And then on the exhale, release that down to the floor. And then just go one leg after the other. Lifting the left leg and then lifting the right leg. Some people might take this real fast, like a jab. Others might take it really slow, like a sunrise, sunset, going from one leg then the other. What is the awareness? Is the leg straight or bent? Maybe it doesn't matter at all. We're going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Walk your feet to the front of the mat, forward fold. Relax your neck. And then add a chair pose. Bend your knees, hips low, arms to the ceiling. Good, we're just doing a quick chair here. Release down, fold forward, let it go. Again, hips low, arms up, chair pose. Breathing it up. Once you find your chair, just as quickly let it go, forward fold. Taking those first 2 and really muscle memory for the last one. Bend your knees. Feel the bend of your knee joints. Drop the hips, the hip joints. Lift the chest from shoulder joint, elbow to fingertips. Final moments. The shape is how it is. As long as we're not holding on, the breath is moving. We can encourage the breath. Allow the chest to lift to make space for it. And then release down, forward fold. Notice the aftermath of your work. How the breath picks itself up. Inhale, half lift, long spine, big breath in. And on the exhale, release down, forward fold. You can step back or hop back to travel to your flow. Let's take an inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Step it through between your hands. Spiral your left heel down, reach your arms up, warrior 1. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, release, hands down to the floor. Step back and travel for your flow. Lift the left leg up high. Look forward. Step the left foot through between your hands. Back heel down. Warrior 1. This time, let's just clock the fingertips. What does it feel like to let them wiggle? What does this do for the left knee? Take an inhale. On the exhale, release, hands down to the floor. Step back, Travel for your flow. Pelling out the feet, shaking out the head until it feels like stillness is the way. Maybe it's the stillness in the hands, maybe it's how the hands hold, maybe it's stillness in the head, how the head releases. Even if there's activity in the body, there's still room for stillness somewhere else. Look forward in front of you, take a walk or hop to the front of your mat. Yeah, hips low, arms up, chair. Floating. What would this chair be like if the arms went out, like a T? What about if they tried to go backwards? What's it like if these arms go forwards? What's it like if the heels lift? See if you can sit 2 inches lower, just cuz. And then slowly bring yourself up to standing. Keep the heels lifted, reach the arms in the air. What's it like to go north with the hands? Sweep the hands back behind you. The legs can stay straight, just hinge your hips. And the question could come up, like, out of all these, which one is you? They're all you, just different expressions. Let's come back to our first chair. Drop the heels, bend your knees, hips low, arms up. Take one more big breath in there. And on the exhale, release down and forward, forward, forward. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, take a twist. Let's give it one more inhale. And on the exhale, release, right hand down, left arm up. Nice, Susan. Let's take one more inhale. And then release, hand down. Half lift, big breath in. And when it feels like it's ready to flow down, ripple it down. Step or hop back into your flow. Good. Lift your right leg up. And really just take one extra breath. Feel your inner right thigh going up and back through the hips. And then step your right foot through between your hands. And just pause right there. Take an inhale like it fills up your waist. And take an exhale where it really lets you sit into those hips. Spiral your back heel down. And take a moment there. Feel the edge of your left pinky toe onto the mat. There's a little arch on your left foot, the inner arch kind of lifting because you're putting a lot of weight on the back pinky toe. Let's still stay low. Reach your hands back behind you, like airplane wings. And see if you can lift your belly off of your thigh. So the core is still active here. Nice, nice. Still staying low. Reach your arms forward in front of you. Let it reach as high as your ears. Zap out through your fingertips. Fingertips really alert. Push your right foot down into the ground. Lift your chest up, warrior one. Bring hands to heart center. Option to close the eyes. We go from thinking about the right leg, left leg, arms and such, to just this place of unity. The body is one unit. Take an inhale, you can reach the arms up, maybe even back for transition. And then release the hands down to the floor. Step back into upper push-up plank, pause there. Roll onto your left side, right arm in the air for side plank, Vashisthasana. If you want to find more support for your balancing posture, drop the left knee down to the mat. Take any variation that speaks to you, including the right leg lifted or the right arm forward. Good, slowly release, hand back to the floor. Drop your knees to the mat and then bring your arms up to the sky. Just take an inhale, reaching for your ceiling. And on the exhale, hands down to the floor, take your flow. Up dog or cobra into your down dog. This might be nice to peel out the feet on this one. And then lift the left leg up high to the sky when ready. Taking just an extra moment to thank both hands for pushing evenly, pushing the chest towards the thighs as you lift. And then stepping left foot through between the hands. Rock the weight a little forward and backwards so you know you always have an option to go deeper or pulling out further. And then once you find that one where you're like, this is the good spot, spiral your back heel down and just get grounded there. If you could imagine your right leg was like who you were, like as a person, you'd be noticing the right foot would work, the right kneecap would lift, the right quad, right glute would be active. So just shouting out all that the right leg is. Then look forward, hands back behind you. If you were just the arms, you could notice the fingertips. They have ability to express. Your shoulder blades can roll back like you're opening up some blinds. This is what the arms are on right now. Remember, the left knee has that room to bend. If you were reaching the arms forward, try to get the arms as high as the ears. Now you're the spine. The spine long from the base to the crown of the head. Really active here. Lifting your belly away from your thigh. Let's take an inhale for these limbs. And on your exhale, lift yourself up, warrior one. Hands to heart center. And you might think about you, the person who took the time to be in a space of meditation, reflection, of work. And maybe looking even above that, you're just a breathing being existing in this space. Breath for transition. Inhale, the arms can go up, maybe back. And then release the hands down to the floor. Step back and travel for your flow. Peeling out the feet, checking it out. You can take a walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Last chair of class. Hips low. Yogi's preference for the arms. You want to go arms up, arms out, arms forward, or arms back. Whatever you got, we're really just focused on the feet. The feet got the foundation. The hips can boogie low. Soft through the hip flexors, but firm through the core. Whatever you got for one more big, full breath in. And this time on the exhale, stand up to the sky. Reach your arms up, maybe back, take a little bend. We'll meet back in your forward fold. No rush at all. Travel for your flow. On the inhale, you can take your half lift. Release down, forward fold. Step or hop back. Travel for your flow. Good. Look forward without lifting your leg. Just step it through. Right foot forward between the hands. Back heel down, warrior one. Reach your arms up. Good. Straighten your right leg. Turn your toes to the side. Good. Flying warrior, fold. Flat spine all the way down to the ground. The moment you feel like you've dropped towards the floor, rebound with a half lift. Big breath in. And then just ripple it down again into a fold. You can skandasana to the left, bending left knee, right toes lift. You can skandasana to the right, bending your right knee, left toes lift. You can go fast or slow from side to side. Every time you get to drop into space, all right, that's a little gift you give yourself. Being present, that's the present. You dig. Gonna go from one side to the next. Next time you're through the center, just take a half lift. Big breath in, long spine. And on the exhale, release down and forward. Let it go. Nice work. Turn your right toes to the front of the mat. Walk your hands to meet it. Back heel lifts off the mat now. Okay, now we're on a tightrope. Reach your arms up, high lunge. Look up towards the sky. Look at your hands. And think about your right knee. Sit your right knee low. Then bring your head back on straight. Look forward. And bring the left arm forward, right arm back. Take a twist. Either staying here, or if you want to exalted warrior, drop the right hand down. Reach the left arm up. Strong moment, warrior two, open up to the opposite side. Left heel down, left arm goes back, right arm goes forward. Straighten through your right leg, both arms up. Just take a big breath in here. And on the exhale, sit back low, warrior two. One more time, reach the arms up. And then sit back down into your space. Imagine you were having a tug of war with the arms. And let the right arm win. Reach the right arm forward and down to the ground for side angle. Reach the left arm forward to frame your face. Yeah. One more inhale to keep the chest rolling open. Yes, tip yourself up, warrior two. Reverse warrior, right palm up towards the ceiling. Take a side stretch. And then you can release your hands down to the floor. Step back, travel for a flow. Just stay here for a breath for a moment. Big breath in, traveling down your back, up to your hips. Big breath out, let it go. Take an inhale, lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. Step it through between your hands. Again, you can rock the weight a little forward and back, find your space. And then bring both arms up to the sky, high lunge. Feel for your breath in. And feel for your breath out. Straighten your left leg, turn your body to the right. Fold forward, flat spine, hinge at the hips. Take your half lift, big breath in. And on the exhale, fold. Shift the weight a little side to side, Skandasana. If you want to go upside down instead, if you're working on a headstand or any other variation, you can take that inversion now. Good, let's take a half lift, big breath in. And an exhale, release. Turn the left toes to the front of the mat, walk your hands to meet it. Both arms can come up, high lunge. Nice, and then right arm forward, left arm back, take your twist. You want to take exalted warrior, drop the left hand down, reach the right arm up. Then we'll come into warrior two, back heel down, reach the arms apart. Yeah, yeah. 2 times on your own, just straighten the left leg, let the arms come up. Find that seat again. Just moving at your breath. Once you're sitting low, side angle, once again, left hand to the floor, right arm up. And then let the right arm reach forward to frame your face. Yeah. Still keep the chest open, so keep rolling your chest up to the ceiling. Nice, Frank. Let's take one more big breath in as we reach. On the exhale, tip yourself up, warrior 2. Reverse warrior, left palm up towards the ceiling, take a side stretch. Good, this time cartwheel your hands down to the floor, plank pose. Roll onto your right side for side plank. Right hand down, left arm up. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, upper push-up plank, pausing there. Drop the knees to the floor. Reach your arms up to the ceiling once again. From here, hands can come down to the floor. Take your flow, up dog to down dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let's drop the knees to the floor, tabletop position. You can extend your right leg behind you, let it lift. Bend your right knee. And reach for your right foot with your left hand. Left hand reaches behind, looking for the foot. Once you have a hold of your foot, refocus your attention to your right arm. Keep your right shoulder stacked over your right wrist. Initially, let your left shoulder kind of relax. Let your throat relax. And then press your right shin back. Press your right foot back. This is the kick that'll drive our pose. As your right shin kicks back, it'll pull the left shoulder back. Allow the left shoulder to be pulled back, but keep your right shoulder stacked over your right wrist. There's 2 oppositional forces. You can squeeze through your right glute muscle, right butt muscle to help that kick. If you're favoring one side more than the other, just think about softening for a moment and let the breath be that life force that's keeping you in this posture. If you need a little bit more force, use your left arm to help pull the right leg up, but only if it's needed, only if it feels like it's going to progress you in some way. We've got this for 3. We've got this for 2. And then slowly release. Extend the right leg. Let it drop to the mat. Left hand back to the floor. If you want to roll it out some, you can roll it out some. We'll do so with the other leg. Bend your left knee up towards the sky. And then reach for your left foot with the right hand. I like to think of the kick kind of like the accelerator on a car. If you're in a residential neighborhood, you kind of cruise it, right? Just kicking lightly. If you're on the highway, you might have more pedal to the metal and you kick upwards. So coast yourself. Navigate the right shoulder back. Let the left armpit turn itself in. Wiggle the jaw or do none of it. Maybe it's cruise control. Again, you can move without thinking if that serves you today. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. It's more of an awareness than anything to analyze. Slowly release, take your time. Hand down, knee down. And then you can roll yourself up to standing on your knees one last time. We'll do a camel pose. Hands to the low back for support. Maybe just closing the eyes is already a nice little support system. You could drop the head back. Maybe there's another room, another chamber to let breath fill into. You can keep your hips underneath your belly button. A lot of our support here. Right? And then the cycle continues. Never skipping any pages. Always just staying on the page you're on with your breath, which will look different for everyone. Go to your capacity. Acknowledge your edge. And breathe along those borders. When you're ready to come up steady, come up slow. You can bring hips to heels or you can sit cross-legged. I'm always so surprised at how quick the time seems to go for this class. There are 1,000,001 different variations to 1,000,001 different postures. If there's some room to acknowledge what you accomplished today, then that can be so affirmative for everything else you got to do for the rest of the day. Hopefully this practice lives in the body and shows up in some way for the rest of your day. If there's a person, place, or thing that was in your mind before or is in your mind now that could use some breath, some space, and trust that thinking about them in some way is going to have a positive impact in that direction. There might even be room to smile at that exchange. You can open the eyes, you can swing your legs forward. Legs can go long. Let's take a little twist. Bring the right knee up towards your chest, right foot flat to the floor. And then just reach your right arm forward in front of you, the inside of your leg, and wrap it behind you. You can reach your left arm behind you and both hands can meet behind your knee, just the best of the ability. Maybe you grab for your shirt or maybe you grab for your pants. Maybe you're able to interlace the fingers. Let's give it one more big breath in and big breath out. Good, we'll let that go. You can come out slowly, switch legs, extending the right leg, left foot gets the hug in. It's the left arm that reaches and wraps it behind. Take one more breath in and breath out. Come back to center. Legs can go long. Roll yourself all the way down to your mat. Once your head touches the floor, you can bring the sole of your feet to touch and let your knees fall like an open book. You've already showed so much focus and strength, vulnerability, determination. If there's one additional thing that you could see clearly that's being held on to, that also wants to let go, you give it permission now. You're welcome to either stay in butterfly or extend both legs, coming into your final Shavasana. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. If you like to stay in Shavasana longer, you're welcome to. If you want to roll to one side, use your hands like a pillow, you're welcome to. We'll eventually meet in a seated position if it serves you. Sincerely and genuinely, thank you for taking the time today. Such a bright spot in my week. Hopefully, it's doing something for you too. If you want to reach out, I'll put my information in there on IG. If you have any donations, you can send them to our meditation group at Running River Collective. We're doing a masculinity workshop. If you know any men in your life who are looking to revisit masculinity and maybe fix some toxic traits that might be there, we're doing a little workshop. So you can reach out to me now about it, and I can give you the flyer, or we can talk later on the IG or wherever else. Okay? I'll give you guys a quote to end things off. Actions speak louder than words, but when you can, find stillness. Again, my name is Quazzy. Thank you for your time. Namaste.